Hello guys, Axilla here, and this is going to be a little kind of how-to heroes video. I think that's what I'm going to call these little things that I'm going to try and do. It's going to be a how-to on using the Dragon Knight. Rule number 1, try to time out instead of dying. Ideally, you want the Dragon Knight to die or time out roughly the same time, so time out on like 5% or less life, or die with 3 or 4 seconds remaining absolute maximum. So it is much better to be a little bit more conservative with the Dragon Knight in order to get the full use of it. Rule number 2, buildings better than heroes. The Dragon Knight does double damage to buildings and so should be used for its primary purpose, which is to siege. Bear that in mind when you are moving with the Dragon Knight. Obviously, you don't just go straight all out on buildings or the Dragon Knight will die very quickly. Rule number 3. Use Flame Breath as often as you can, preferably on cooldown. The Flame Breath is a cone attack which leaves fire on the floor and that does damage for the duration it persists there. Flame Breath is a fantastic ability to clear out minion waves, as well as just apply zones where the opponents don't particularly want to go. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but you can use it so often that that damage stacks up very, very quickly. Rule number 4, only charge key targets you need to. For example, if they have a Sergeant Hammer who is sieged up on the backline, charge the Sergeant Hammer. Other than that, heroes that are causing a lot of pain for you and your team are pretty good targets to charge, but preferably heroes without escapes as well, because Valas can vault away quickly, Zeratul can blink, etc. Rule number 5, my final rule, is after the 20-minute mark, the Dragon Knight is an absolute monster. It does so much damage and has a large amount of health, enough to sustain it through just right-clicking the core, and after the 20-minute mark, the Dragon Knight basically does like 5% of the core's health every single hit. So now I'm going to actually get into the Dragon Knight and show you what it's all about. Now as you can see, we've already pushed this middle lane, taken the fort and the gate. So all I'm going to do as the Dragon Knight is I'm going to breathe fire, and if you watch, I'll try and position my cone so that it does hit the fort and the tower. Notice how I'm not making the Dragon Knight tank the fort and the tower, because that way the Dragon Knight will die very quickly, and I'd rather that didn't happen. But look what I'm doing right now. The opposing team have 3 members in the middle lane, plus the fort is still up. I can't really do much there without my creep wave, so I'm just going to take advantages where I can and move straight up to the top lane. Notice my positioning there. I was right down at the bottom so that I couldn't be attacked by this top tower as well as the bottom tower. The bottom tower was out of ammo, so it didn't actually matter, but I still took that really good position. The last thing to note is the fact that as the Dragon Knight, I was quite conservative with it. I didn't tank creep waves or towers, and so he actually timed out way before he had any chance of dying, which is really good for the first Dragon Knight and ones that happened mostly prior to the 15-minute mark. As I said before, you want to try and be quite careful with the early game Dragon Knights, since they are very weak compared to the late game Dragon Knights and actually take not that much damage to kill. Now just an example, notice what's happening with the Dragon Knight right now. It is just right-clicking the core, going all ham. This is the 16-minute mark, and look how quickly it's losing health. The Dragon Knight has 50 seconds left, has 45 seconds left by the time it dies. That was a terrible use of the Dragon Knight, and exactly why you shouldn't just go completely ham with it until it is strong enough, which is normally after the 20-minute mark. And now, just to demonstrate the power of the 20+ minute Dragon Knight, look at me go. The core was already very low, but boom, just 4.5–5% damage every hit. Barely took any damage to get 35% of the core down, and that is how you Dragon Knight. Thanks for watching, I hope this has been informative. I've been Axilla, and until next time.